There are more slaves today than at any time in history. Less than 1 in 100 victims of human trafficking will ever escape. God is calling us to break the chains of modern-day slavery and set captives free. Child Impact launched Operation Child Rescue 10 years ago with a project in India to combat the evils of human trafficking. From that first project, Child Impact now has 30 projects in 16 countries and growing. Hundreds of children have been set free and now have hope for a bright future. When a child is rescued, our work has just begun. We must provide a safe place, nutritious meals, and a loving team to nurture their healing journey. We would like to invite you to partner with us as part of the Rescue Party. Those who join the Rescue Party commit to support Child Impact's rescue projects on a monthly basis. This monthly gift is a lifeline to these precious children. Join Child Impact as we rescue and protect children from forced child marriage, sexual exploitation, bonded servitude, abandonment, and abuse. Thank you for bringing hope to a child.
One thing that many people don't realize about Brazil is that it is the 5th largest country in the world. We have huge territory and we have several different cultures within our country. And as we talk about Brazilian culture, we notice that the North seems to have a very different culture from the rest of the country. And one thing that is particular, and it hurts to say that it's part of the culture, but I've heard the locals say it many times, is that the abuse of minors, the sexual abuse of minors, is so prevalent that I'll have local people tell me that it seems like it's a part of our culture. And local person after local person told me their own story, their neighbor's story, their cousin's story of minors ages 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 being abused by fathers, uncles, brothers, stepfathers. I've heard several girls telling me stories about having multiple experiences of abuse from several different abusers. I've heard of abusers that have abused all of the girls inside of their homes. That's how I know it is so prevalent here.
Since we hold workshops in our neighborhood, I invited the teenagers, and then we did the Don't Touch Me play, with the teenagers. It was really interesting. During their performance, kids were jumping up and saying, "My dad does that, my grandpa does that, my dad puts my mom to bed, then he comes and does this and that to me." And what's interesting is that out of 80, we were about 86 kids there. The reaction was instant. It was like popcorn popping. Pop, pop, he pop, mom, dad, grandpa, my mom's friend, all during the talk.
I think what shocked me the most here as we've been visiting the communities is how open everyone is about the problem. In many places, it takes a year, 2 years of getting to know a child, forming a relationship with them before they feel comfortable opening up and telling what's been happening in their life. Here, our team goes in and immediately the kids raise their hand, they're talking to our staff and sharing the abuse that they're experiencing at home. In visiting some members of the community, they immediately go into, hey, these are all of the problems that we're experiencing here and we need help. And so there's really an open door of communication on the challenges these communities are facing and a desire to improve the lives of their children.
We had to take a deep breath and keep going with the talk so that afterwards we could give them the support they needed. Because during the talk, they kept popping up, and that really gets to you inside, and you have to stay strong. Even in the middle of all this, I truly believe there is healing for this. We'll be able to get them to dream again. Can you imagine? A different world for them.
Poverty provides a context where abuse and trafficking can flourish, sadly. And so even in cases where moms are aware that the dad or the uncle or the stepfather is perpetrating, they can sometimes dismiss what their child is telling them or even permit it to happen because they're depending on their spouse to be a wage earner so the family can survive. One startling story that was shared with us really illustrates how abuse can lead to trafficking. A young girl whose family wants food to eat sends her to the grocery store without any money. An arrangement has been made with the shop owner, and she goes in through a secret entrance where he then abuses her. She had to learn how to do this from her older sister. That responsibility has now passed to her. After she's abused, she's given groceries to take home to the family. That truly is the definition of human trafficking, trading her body, which she does not want to do, in exchange for something to eat.
So knowing that we want to focus on saving minors, especially from abuse and exploitation, we knew we needed to open a project in the north of Brazil. And as we looked at different states, the Amazon showed up. Because of its geography, there are so many isolated communities in the Amazon, and the isolation enhances the vulnerability. It's harder for the police to reach them. It's harder for public health services to reach them. So these people are in extended vulnerability because of the challenging access to them, because they can only be accessed via rivers. To break that isolation, we've purchased a boat. We have an office in the main town, and we purchased a boat that will let us go all the way to communities, indigenous communities that are 2 or 3 hours away, but are still part of this one town. We have 106 schools that we're planning on reaching. We go with our psychologist, our social worker, and the remaining of our team.
We were able to visit a school. We traveled quite some distance by boat to get there. The students in the afternoon classes began to arrive. It's the younger portion of the students. We heard that already that morning, our team had 4 of the older students that came forward and shared that they were being abused. And that very afternoon in the session, we observed a young boy came forward and shared with our team that he was being abused. These children are ready to share their stories, and for every one that steps forward, we know that there are many more who have not yet stepped forward and felt safe to share their story and what they're going through. Statistically, in Brazil, for every 1 child that comes forward, there are 10 others who don't make that report. This is the circumstance that we find in all of these very remote communities along the Amazon. The highlight for me on the trip to Child Impact Amazon was visiting Sarah's home. The first thing you notice is that the house has been built on stilts because it is in a flood zone. We also learned that the next door neighbor has a 12-year-old daughter who already has given birth to a baby. In Sarah's own family, her daughter, who is now 15, already has a child and is pregnant with the next one. Sarah has several children and she's doing her best to support them. But she has a dilemma that she faces because there's not enough for their family to survive with only the wages her husband earns. So she has to find some type of work. And when she does, that means the children are left unsupervised and vulnerable. Sarah was sharing with us one job that she does, and that is to help clean up brothels in her neighborhood. She sometimes unlocks the doors and she sees a 13-year-old or a 14 or 15-year-old girl. One day she saw a girl who was 15 dressed in old and tight and short clothing. And she asked her, "What are you doing here?" The girl said, "I'm hungry. I need some food to eat." That girl will earn 20 reais, about $4, and she will survive for another day. This is the dilemma faced by parents and children in this community, and it's so important that Child Impact can intervene with a social worker who can begin working with these families and help these children to find safety and find solutions to the challenges that they find themselves in.
You cannot reach vulnerable children without reaching their system, their support system. So what we're doing here in the Amazon is working with educators, with families, and with the children themselves. We're teaching educators how to identify signs of abuse, how to receive a child that's coming to tell you an abuse report, and how to follow up reporting that to authorities. Many of the teachers that we've we've taught have told us, I was afraid of doing it because of backlash. You have to understand, these are tight-knit communities. So maybe the person that has abused this child is the teacher's father's boss. So now how do I go about this without bringing damage to my own family? So we're teaching them about anonymously reporting. We're teaching them about how to not re-traumatize a child as you're asking them questions and interviewing them about their story. We're teaching children what is safe touch, what is healthy touch, what is respect, what is love, and what to do when somebody disrespects your boundaries. We do it in a way that is very appropriate and very safe for children. We're also talking to the families because over 80% of the abuse happens inside of the homes. So we need to raise awareness inside of the families. We need to raise awareness to the mothers so they know how to better protect their children. Besides that, we have a psychologist on site that is available to receive victims that are sent to us from social services. We're working hand on hand with the social services system because we are not lonely vigilantes. The city has a system that needs to be followed, and we're working hand in hand with the system to better support these children. We're also bringing in a social worker that does follow-up visitations with the families that are in the city. And let me tell you, we just started doing this 2 months ago. We're doing amazing work already, but we're still learning how we can best serve them.
The importance of these trainings is exactly in not using closed-off ideas, but in believing that they are capable of much more and that they have a range of possibilities. So they don't come in with the idea that there's no way out, that they can't turn to others, or that the system doesn't work. So the importance of this is exactly to broaden that perspective so they understand that we're here to help, that Child Impact is here as support, as a resource, and that they really can count on the authorities, especially when there's this bridge between us and the authorities, whom they often distrust.
We are already providing important services to this community through the awareness, to the emotional support for children, through the development that we're providing the kids in the community. But these kids are still coming home to an unsafe environment. When I was a kid, I loved coming back home. There was yummy food, I had loving parents, but a lot of the children here are afraid to come home because home is where my abuser is. Home is where I don't have a meal. Home is where I have to watch out for my 6-year-old and my 11-year-old sisters. So my dream is that these children will have a safe place to live, that they'll have a place where they can flourish and develop because they know that they're safe. They know that they're loved. They know that their needs are taken care of so they can just be kids, develop, and grow up to live great lives. I think the greatest things that have been achieved in the world were achieved by people that didn't believe that it was impossible. We're working with an issue that is so great that it's easy to think that we're barely a drop of water in the ocean. But that's not what I believe. I don't believe that it's impossible to change this culture. I don't believe that it's impossible to bring transformation to these children. I believe that over time, we will have a huge impact in these children's lives. I believe that over time, this community will be changed. And I believe that as we continue to do what we're doing, as we expand, as we create a safe house for these children, that many children will have a better life because of the work that Child Impact is doing here today.
Greetings, friends. Right here in the heart of the Amazon, Child Impact is bridging the gap for vulnerable children who are being exploited and abused by perpetrators. You can make a difference by contributing to Operation Child Rescue. You can make a monthly gift or a one-time gift by visiting childimpact.org and selecting Operation Child Rescue, or you can call our office at 423-910-0667. Thank you for bringing hope to a child.